Hello students, welcome to the class. I will be teaching you the chapter Transport and Communication, class 12, Geography. Students, we have already introduced transport in our previous chapter as one of the tertiary activities. So transport is a service, it is a facility. Here we talk about it. It is a service or a facility to transport goods and people from one place to another. So while we are doing this, we are transporting the goods as well as the people. It takes a lot of effort and various modes of transport. If we talk about, several places are joined by series of routes to and from to form a pattern. Here I said several places. The punch word here is places. Several places are joined by series of routes. The other punch word here is the routes. So let's talk about what this word place is supposed to be known as. Place is supposed to be known as a node. And route is supposed to be known as, now we talk about the nodes and the routes, and we are going to relate it as the arteries of the nation. Okay? So nodes and the routes are talking about the different places which are joined from one place to the other. So places are the nodes and routes are the links. Let us see this on the map. Here we have Delhi, and this place is Kolkata, the two metropolitan cities of India, Delhi and Kolkata. We may take any mode of transport to transfer our goods or to transport the people from Delhi to Kolkata. Delhi and Kolkata are the nodes, and the route that we are going to take up will be the link. So node links together forms a network of transport. The mode of transports may be different, but we need to know about the different network of the transport. This network we can talk as the arteries of the nation. The arteries which makes the goods flow. The arteries which takes the people from one place to the other place. Now, I would like to tell you about the mode of transport. We have different modes of transport. Let's talk about it. The land, the water, and the air. Land. Let us further divide this. Certainly, you all are very comfortable and you know about these routes. Roadways is one of the means of land transport. Railways is the next one. And the new addition is pipelines. Why new addition? We'll discuss about this in the forthcoming lectures. Okay? So roadways, railways and pipelines as under the land transport. Then let us switch over to the next mode of transport, and that is water. Here we will be talking about some of the sea routes from one continent to the other continent. We are going to talk about the different ports and the routes. So here again, the different ports would be the nodes and the route would be the links. For example, from Mumbai to any of the European ports here. Mumbai and any of the ports here in Europe would be the nodes. And the routes that we are going to take, if it is the Suez Canal, yes, of course, this is going to be the Mediterranean route. Or if you're not going by the Suez Canal for several reasons that will be discussed in the forthcoming lectures, here we have the Cape of Good Hope route from Mumbai via Cape of Good Hope, that is Africa, where we will be crossing over many West African nations and going to the European ports. Why am I saying European ports? Because Europe is so rich with the transport, with the transport links, with the transport routes. So we will be talking, gradually you'll come to know how many ports are there, which ports are important, and why are they important. Every place has its own importance, and why these ports are developing, we will be discussing about all. Rather, we will be relating the previous chapters to this now, because in the previous chapters, we've already done about the human activities. The human activities cannot be stationary, and they require to have the trade. The trade will take them from one place to the other place. Hence, this chapter is so very important for us. The next thing that comes in the what sea route is, waterways is sea route, and then the coastal shipping, hopping over from one port to the other port in the same country. Shipping canals. We have two major shipping canals that we will be highlighting here in this chapter. Certainly you will be excited to know about Panama Canal and the Suez Canal, which have been cut into the canals. These are the isthmus which have been cut into canals. That's exciting to know about. I'll be showing a couple of videos also, and how it has been constructed and how much they are advantageous to the people of various continents rather. The next one is the inland waterways, not only the seaways, but inland waterways. The oceans are connected with the inland waterways through rivers, canals, and lakes. Of all the lakes, we will be highlighting and talking in detail about the 5 lakes. About the 5 lakes of Canada and USA. It's in North America. How the trains, how the rail route is cutting off in between, and these lakes are taken into consideration, and the people are being, the goods are being transported through these canals and are entering into St. Lawrence waterway, finally entering into the Atlantic Ocean. From the middle of the continent, all the inland waterways to the east coast, that is the Atlantic Ocean coast. Okay. The next is the airways, which has now become very common. Early years, it was not so. Yet we will talk about it and its development. The air route, we will be talking in a domestic context as well as international. We will also be talking which continent is having a dense network of air routes and which one is not having. Okay, so this is the flavor of this chapter. I have given it to you. Now we will start with the first means of transport, the first mode of transport, which is roadways. Okay, roadways is one mode of transport which is very common, and all of us are so very acquainted with it. Every day, that is the mode of transport to take us to our workplace, to take us to our homes, to take us to any entertainment park, to take us to the malls, everywhere. We don't go by air, do we? Or we are going by the sea route? No, we are not. We are taking the roads for sure. So here we take see the advantages of the roadways first. First, this is the most economical means of transport, most economical. You all must agree to this. The second one is that it gives door-to-door facility. None of the aeroplanes gives us door-to-door facility. Do they? Do they come to our house? No. Only the roads reaches our house, and so this is door-to-door facility. Also, it suits the best for the shortest of the distances, and it is also feeder to many other modes of transport. Feeder in the sense, if I have to travel by ship or aeroplane, I need to go to the port or to the airport. How? Road. Road is the one which is taking me to the other means of transport. It is connecting me, and so I can say that it is the feeder for all the other types of roadways, types of transport, means of transport. Okay, now, if I say that roadways is the easiest, most economical, most used, then let us talk about the history of land transport. So let's peep into the history of land transport. Let us talk about it, children. we talk about land transport. Ancient times, we were not having means of transport. We were not having the trains. We were not having anything. And so, palanquin was the one which people used to carry the person, and they were traveling with that mode. But that is very old. That is a very old story. After that, we had the beasts of burden. Beasts of burden, all the draught animals, were used to carry goods on their backs, or they even used for the transportation of the people. Beasts of burden. If I have touched that point, let me just talk about some of the draught animals. Anywhere and everywhere, yes, we do find the animals, but there are some specific animals which are used for this purpose. For example, pack animals. We call them as pack animals. For example, horses. Yeah, okay. So beasts of burden, we also call them as pack animals. And if we just see to it, horses are very commonly used in Western countries, North America especially. Then comes dogs and reindeers. Yes, of course, children, they're widely used in North America. They're widely used in Northern Europe and also Siberia. Now, where are these places? Let us come and see on the map. North America, Northern Europe and Siberia. All of these regions lie in the Arctic Circle. In the Arctic Circle, most of the time, they are under the snow. Most of the time, these regions are laid by the snow. The snow cover is there, and so the sleighs are being pulled by the dogs and the reindeers. Mules are seen often in the mountainous regions. Camels in the desert. In India, it is very common to see the bullock carts. Okay, so this is what I wanted to know about the beasts of burden, the pack animals, right? Then comes the invention of the wheels, and so the people started to move around in carts, carry the people or the goods, followed by the steam engine. Steam engine was the breakthrough, where it gave momentum to the speed and to the trade and to the movement of the people to different areas, different regions, and they were discovering new places. This was the time when steam engine became the main source of the human geography, the interaction between the communities, the interaction between the societies. To mention, the train route from Stockton to Darlington is worth mentioning because this happened in the early years in England, followed by the internal combustion engine. The moment this came, all the roads were constructed and the cars, the motor vehicles started to ply from one region to the other region. This eased the transportation and it became very fast, faster than the oil. So if we look at this particular portion, we find that the land transport improved, developed from the people carrying the burden and the other people to the motor vehicles, the motor cars. To mention the last mode of transport, that is, which is related to the land transport, is the pipeline. The pipeline is a very important means of transport because that carries petroleum and natural gas. There are some countries where slurry made of coal is also transported, but that is not a very common thing, or because it is confined only to a very smaller area. Also in New Zealand, milk is transported through the pipelines. But here, when we are going to study in this chapter or the forthcoming chapters, we will not be talking about the slurry or milk, but we will be specifically talking about the petroleum, like HVJ pipeline, Big Inch pipeline, that we will be highlighting and we will be talking about it in detail. Also, some other means of land transport are ropeways and cableways. There are some regions which are inaccessible by road or even by airways. It is difficult to reach those places because of the difficult terrains, the mountains, the valleys. It is difficult to reach those places. And the surface is so undulating that we cannot construct any of the means of transport there. We cannot reach otherwise. So we have the ropeways or the cableways. Now in the present years, we've seen that ropeways and cableways have become a tourist attraction also. So not only for the transportation of the minerals and the people and to provide them the things of their daily use, it's now that we are using cableways and ropeways for entertainment.